All right, this is an awkward position, but I have 9 coffees on the table over here and I've got the 10th one ready to go. So these are the coffees that I had roasted up. We're gonna have Jerica coffees on this side. We're gonna have the Thai coffees along the front, and then continental coffees on the other side. So here we go, back into the corner. What we're doing is we're testing the roast right, the roast color, and we're testing the bean color and the grounds colors, and then we're getting cupping ready over here. So if you're not too dizzy to continue watching, let me get this set up. I just wanted to walk through the final steps of getting all of this ready. Okay, so here we go. I've got the last coffee, which is the anaerobic Thai coffee, and from Thailand. So these bowls are 180 milliliters, actually about 200 milliliters, but once I get the coffee in, they hold about 180. So I'm going to do 10 grams of beans, which is a 1:18 cupping ratio. So 1:18 makes a nice light cup, but it gives us proper extraction. So if you're new to cupping, you always want to purge your coffee grounds a little bit through this. You know, there's some retention inside of the grinder, so when we purge those, then the coffee grounds will come out. Always hold an extra bowl here so I can keep the grinder running. These anaerobic coffees are so complex. I always get this, we have a Rwandan anaerobic over there as well. That one was special. It was like barbecued fish at first, and then it was fruity and strawberry and complex. This one is also very complex, almost like a sweet cheese. You sometimes get cheese. Often I've smelled cheese in anaerobic coffees. That's good. Okay, so I'm not supposed to be doing the cupping here for you. I'm supposed to be getting everything ready, kind of walking you through this process, how we do it. So I have my coffees here. What we use is this Roast Right roast analyzer. And then so this would be for the ground coffee, which we'll use this small foot. And then this is the big foot for the beans. So this Bigfoot analyzer from Roast Right, this is the size of an Agtron disc. So, you know, replicates the size exactly. What we're going to do is we're going to fill this up, and you want it to be level because you are measuring the light, reflection, refraction, and so you don't want the surface to be curved or overflowing. The same is true with the ground coffee. So I'm going to place this into a pan. You can use any kind of a catching tray. I'm just going to fill this up. And then I'm just going to put that in there as well. Fill that up. So we can do this one easily. I'm just filling this up. I'm not measuring the beans in this. I'm going to grind this coffee. And then this one here, what we do, there's a nice leveler. You use this and you can kind of scrape across. And then you can also push down. So by working back and forth like that, and then just kind of leveling, you know, there's going to be some spots that have a bit of, there's going to be some gaps, but then there's also going to be some that you fill. So after tapping through that, you can create a nice level surface. That's going to give us our first readings here. So what we do is we just set this on top and you push the button. Let me grind this up. Okay, so I'm going to grind this. This you grind extra fine. So this is going to be like espresso grounds, and then you'll do the same thing here. You're just going to fill this up. So this is when we measure color. Now, ground coffee, the inside of this coffee is going to be, it's much lighter than the outside of the coffee. So by taking either measurement, it's both measurements, then we get a more accurate picture. If there's a large discrepancy between the two, and then also just how light the inside of the bean is, because sometimes the outside of the bean will be pretty dark and the inside will be pretty light. Sometimes they get closer to each other. Okay, so you want to keep the eye on the color meter. You want to keep it clean. So if you're free of dust and coffee grounds, this just lifts right off, and then the shape of this unit matches the shape of its base. So you put it on, and then you turn it. I said I was going to bring this over, so why don't I do that now? Okay, so this is on the base of the espresso grounds. I'm going to push this 94, push it again just to double check. It never really changes for me. Okay, so that's 94 on the grind. Help me remember that, 94. And then this is already on the base. Okay, so I took that off. This is already on the base. I'm going to push this now. 65. 94, 65. So that spread, kind of 30 points, is very typical. Let me write that down while I'm still thinking about it. I'll write that on my notebook here. We've got all of our roast color grounds was 94. Roast color was 65. All right, so we have our 10. Roasting, green weight, measurements, density, and now we're gonna move on to cupping. Okay, I can't wait to get my nose and my spoon into some of these. Just gonna kind of clean up here. So, you know, I've been saving these espresso grounds when you have some really nice coffee like this. I don't necessarily want to throw it away, so I've been using it for alternative brews. I have a Turkish pot in the house. The Turkish coffee does well with that light or fine grinds. Okay. We're ready for cupping.